Jitendra, we can.
Okay. So this training is related with Fortinet firewall, right? Suresh, do you have any experience with firewall device? Suresh?
We don't have Jitendra.
Okay. So are you working with routing and switching?
Yeah.
Switching. Mustafa, do you have any experience with firewall?
Hi, sir.
Hi, Mustafa.
Actually, right now I'm working in a company.
Okay.
So there I have that project experience. So in that, in the next project, we have a Fortinet firewall.
Mm-hmm.
So I've just worked on the consoles like admin console, but not from the scratch.
Okay, no problem. Sunita?
Sir, as you know, like
Yes, I already know you.
Yeah, but Fortinet, sir, now the company I joined, everything is Fortinet, FortiSwitch, everything FortiGate.
Fortinet products.
Yeah, so it's been very hard for me to learn things there.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Let's start our discussion with intro.
Yes, sir.
So, see, I will start from scratch. Okay, I will start from what is firewall exactly. But before start training, let's discuss topic today. Okay, total training will take in Fortinet. This training is related with NSC4. This training is called what? NSC4 training. Okay, NSC4. Please wait. Okay, can you hear me, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this training is related with NSC4 program. Okay, I will tell you about the 48 certifications, no problem. So complete training will take minimum, this NSC4 training, complete training will take minimum 26 to 28 hours. 28 hours. What I can provide you from my side, I can provide you slides and notes. So we have a proper notes for each topic. For example, if I'm talking about firewall policy configuration in Fortinet, so you can verify here. I can show you. We have a proper notes and slide. For example, in case if we are talking about firewall policy concept. So you can follow this slide. You can follow this notes, step-by-step notes for configuration. See, it means we have a slide for each and every topic. I can share, no problem. Software and tools for lab setup. I can also help you to set up the lab, no problem. So, but you know, the minimum requirement to set up the 48-hour lab is you need to have 8 GB RAM in your laptop. If you have 8 GB RAM, so you can set up your lab, no problem, for only 48 hour box. So let's start our topic discussion. So these are the modules. In our complete training, we have 14 modules, and the first topic is called Introduction and Initial Configuration. Okay, before this topic, I will tell you the basic concept about firewall terminology, okay, firewall techniques. So this is not related with Fortinet. This is common topic. Like for any next generation firewall box. So I can tell you what is firewall first, what is firewall device, and I can discuss firewall technique, firewall techniques. After that, we can start our discussion. After that, we can start our first topic. It's called Introduction and Initial Configuration. So like other vendor, you guys are familiar with the CCNA, right? CCNA concept. So remember in CCNA, we all know the concept about router and switches. We all know how to configure it. We all know the product family information. In Cisco, it's like Cisco router, Cisco switches series. Same, like if I'm learning 48 products, so 48 firewall box, so I need to know the product family about Fortinet, like entry-level firewall device or mid-range firewall box or high-end devices. So I can tell you here in introduction and initial configuration, I can tell you about the product family first, product family information. Then why Fortinet? Because in market we have multiple vendors. For next generation firewall, you can verify here. Let me show you. For next generation firewall, we have multiple vendors in the market. These are the vendors, guys. These are the vendors for next generation firewall. Our focus is on Fortinet. So why Fortinet? Because we have PALO, ALTO, we have Checkpoint Firewall Box, we have Cisco. And why Fortinet? So we can discuss in introduction and initial configuration here. After that, we can go on to the CLI configuration, how to access Fortinet Firewall Box. Fortinet Firewall Box through CLI and all CLI basic command we can discuss. After that, we can go on to the graphical page. So most of the configuration we can do with the graphical page. But yes, you can use CLI command. I can show you some command for a policy configuration, for NAT configuration, for routing configuration. I can show you. But most of the configuration we can do with the graphical page. So in introduction and initial configuration, after product family, after product discussion, we can go on to the CLI option and graphical option. Here we can discuss one more concept. It's called interface configuration. Interface configuration. Interface. If you guys are familiar with the PALO ALTO, remember in PALO ALTO we have L3 interface, L2 interface. We all are familiar with these type of interfaces, right?
Yes, sir.
L2 and L3. Okay, in PALO ALTO we have tap interface. We have virtual wire interface. We have high
Pitching.
availability interface. So like other vendor like PALO ALTO, like Cisco, like Checkpoint Firewall Box, you can configure interfaces here. We can configure interfaces. I can show you the both option, how to configure IP address through CLI, through graphical page. So interface configuration we can focus with CLI and graphical page. And here we can discuss both options. We can focus on physical interface configuration and what logical. In logical, we can discuss VLAN interface concept. Then we can go on to the SVI interface. SVI interface, you can go with the ether channel concept. Remember ether channel? Ether channel is related with routing and switching. So you can go with the ether channel concept. Yes, you can configure redundant interface. You can create loopback option. You can create loopback interface. So these are related with the logical interface configuration on Fortinet Firewall Box. But yes, you can configure your physical interface also. So I will show you all the scenario, how to work with the interfaces, how to configure it. After that, we can discuss one more concept here in introduction and initial configuration is called RBAC. RBAC is a common topic. It's called role-based access control. We can create multiple firewall administrator. We can create multiple firewall administrator to manage our FortiGate firewall box. We can also define the level of access. For example, I have L3 administrator in my organization and L1 administrator. L3 admin can do any kind of changes, can do any kind of configuration. What about L1 administrator? L1 admin can only read the configuration. He cannot change anything. So we can discuss here how to create multiple firewall administrators and how to define the level of access, or you can say how to define the permission. Okay, clear my point, Sunita, Suresh?
Yes, sir.
Mustafa, any question?
Yes,
No, sir.
Jitendra, no problem.
Okay, so this is called what? RBAC. So only this concept, this chapter number 1 will take minimum 3 to 4 hours. Only this first chapter, first topic. After that, we can go on to the routing concept, and yes, it's a common topic. But you know, guys, routing concept we are using on router. We can configure routing on router, like static routing, default, RIP configuration, ERGRP, BGP, OSPF. We can configure on routers. But you know, like other vendors, like other vendor. Fortinet is giving you the option, to configure routing. For example, you are working with a small organization where you have a single FortiGate firewall box, You don't have any router, and you want to connect your firewall with internet. So you need to configure routing here, like static, default, or dynamic. So I can show you how to configure all routing concept here. We can focus on static routing, then default routing. I'm not telling you the storyline, okay? You guys are familiar with the storyline. What is static? What is default? I'm telling you how to configure it on FortiGate firewall box through CLI, through graphical page. Then you can move on to the dynamic routing concept. In dynamic routing, we can focus on RIP and OSPF configuration and BG. So I can tell you all how to configure routing configuration on FortiGate firewall box. Once you configure your routing, after that you can go on to the translation, and yes, it's a common topic. You guys are familiar with the NAT from CCNA. Remember, in CCNA, we have 3 types of NAT in CCNA. Static NAT, right? Dynamic NAT, and PAT. Remember, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Static, dynamic, and PAT. So what is PAT, Suresh? Can you
Port
help me
address
out?
translator.
Okay, where we can use PAT option.
Single static IP address with multiple ports.
Single static IP. You can use outgoing interface IP address also, Suresh. It's not mandatory.
Yeah.
Static IP. Okay, Mustafa, what is dynamic NAT? Any idea, Mustafa? Mustafa,
Hi. Yeah.
do you have any idea about static and dynamic?
Yeah. The dynamic NAT will be given dynamic IPs to the outside world.
No.
Static can be defined
Statically.
static.
Okay,
Can be
okay. What is
defined.
Mustafa? What is NAT exactly? What do you think? What is NAT?
It will translate the address.
Okay, we are using NAT for translation, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so these are the options, Mustafa. These are the NAT translation option, translation configuration option. But these topics are related with CCNA,
Yes.
routing and switching. Sunita, what is static NAT?
Sir, static, we will assign a single like address to a single device. We can't do multiple address translation.
In static NAT, we can do one-to-one mapping.
Yes, one-on-one mapping.
One-to-one mapping. Okay.
Yeah.
And in dynamic NAT,
One to
we can
many.
create a pool of IP, a range of IP address. And in PAT, we can in PAT we can translate multiple private IP address with single public IP. Suresh.
Yes.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter it's a static IP or outgoing interface IP. It doesn't matter. Okay, you can translate multiple private IP address into single public. So this concept is called NAT. So NAT, this topic is a common topic, guys. Remember always NAT. You can configure on PALO ALTO firewall, on Checkpoint firewall, on Cisco ASA, Cisco FTD, or you can configure on Fortinet. In Fortinet, we can focus 2 types of NAT. It's called source NAT. Source NAT concept. And second, we can discuss is called destination NAT. Destination NAT. And to configure this source and destination, we have 2 configuration options. 2 configuration options. First one is called what? Firewall policy NAT. And second is called central NAT. Central NAT concept. So our focus is on what? First, we will discuss what is NAT, why we are using NAT concept. I will revise, no problem. It's a CCNA concept, but I can revise, no problem. So first we can focus on what is NAT. After that, we can discuss scenario for source and destination NAT. In this scenario, we are using source NAT or for destination NAT. And after that, for source and destination NAT configuration, we have two configuration options. So to configure source and destination NAT, either you can go with the firewall policy NAT or you can go with the central NAT. So only this NAT concept will take minimum 3 to 4 hours. Okay, with the theoretical and practical implementation. I will tell you both with scenario. I will show you the practical. Okay, so NAT we are using only for Mustafa for translation, right? Suresh, Sunita,
Network.
NAT concept we are using only for translation.
Yes, sir.
But if you want to allow traffic from one network to another network, for example, here we have one FortiGate firewall box. It's a 140K firewall box, and this firewall is connected with LAN network and WAN site, WAN network. If you want to allow traffic from one network to another network, you need to configure firewall policy.
Policies.
Remember always, guys. Remember always.
Yes.
Remember always your Palo Alto firewall, checkpoint, CCSA, checkpoint firewall box, or you can say Cisco FTD, Cisco Firepower Threat Defense. These firewalls are using a technique is called JBF. They are working with this technique is called JBF, zone-based firewall. So in case if you are working with any zone-based firewall, so the concept is if you want to allow traffic from one zone to another zone, in case if you are working with these firewall devices, Palo Alto, checkpoint and FTD. So here we have a zone concept. If you want to allow traffic from one zone to another zone, you need to configure policy. In Palo Alto, you can create security policy. In checkpoint, you can create access control policy. In Cisco FTD, you can create access policy. But Fortinet is not a zone-based firewall. Remember always, no. Fortinet is not a zone-based firewall. In Fortinet, concept is what? In Fortinet, if you want to allow traffic from one interface to another interface, if you want to allow traffic from one interface to another interface, so you need to configure firewall policy. So Fortinet is not a zone-based firewall. So here we have a concept, firewall policy concept. We can focus here how to allow traffic from one interface to another interface, how to create multiple firewall policy. For example, if I'm working with a big organization, if I want to create 100, 200 firewall policy rule, how to create policy with CLI option, how to configure with graphical page. We'll discuss both, no problem. We'll discuss both. And if you want to, if you have multiple firewall policies, so how to arrange, how to work with these firewall policies, how to delete, how to edit, we'll discuss in detail. We have a proper topic on firewall policy. Next topic, next we can discuss is called web filtering concept. What is web filtering?
Sir, if any website we want to block or give limited access to particular group of people, we can add this web filtering options. We can work on this and do the needful.
Yes, remember URL filtering Palo Alto training?
Yes, sir.
It's the same. It's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same. But you know, in 14 you will get some extra feature. I will show you.
Okay.
But see, but the point is what? These topics, web filtering, application control, antivirus, and I can add one more topic here is called file filter. So in Fortinet, we can discuss security profile. These are what? These are security profiles. Security profiles means what? These are the next generation firewall feature. Next generation firewall feature. So for example, see, here we have a firewall device. And this firewall device is connected with a LAN and we have WAN connectivity. WAN connectivity. As per your firewall policy, for example, as per your firewall policy, traffic is traveling from LAN to WAN site. No problem. This inside machine can access the server. So as per firewall policy, traffic is traveling. But let's take example, this inside machine is trying to download a file from this outside server, and maybe this file is infected with some malicious code, maybe. So your firewall policy cannot detect this malicious information within a session. Your firewall policy cannot detect. That's why what we can do, we can create security profile here. For example, I can create, in this scenario, I can create antivirus profile. And this antivirus profile I can attach with firewall policy. Okay, so as per firewall policy, traffic is traveling. So session is established and this inside machine is trying to download a malicious file. So your antivirus profile can detect viruses within a session. Within your live session, your firewall can detect viruses on behalf of antivirus signature database. And once it detects viruses, you can take action. You can block the session. You can block the traffic. So this inside machine cannot download malicious file, for example. So these are what? These are this web filtering, application control, antivirus profile, file filter. These are what? These are called security profiles. It's a common topic, guys. If you go with the PALO, ALTO, or Checkpoint Firewall Box, or Cisco Firepower Threat Defense, yes, you need to create security profiles. It's a common topic. So with web filtering, what we can do, if you want to block any specific URL in your organization, a specific URL, or if you want to block URL categories, for example, I want to block in my organization, I want to block all political organization website. I want to block all news and media category website. I want to block all gaming category website. Yes, we can do this. We can do this with web filtering. In Fortinet, you can say web filtering. In Palo Alto, this is called URL filtering. So see, we have a proper topic. Chapter number 5 is dedicated for, it is dedicated for web filtering. So we can discuss in detail. Right now, I'm giving you the basic idea. Clear my point? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Right now, I'm giving you the basic idea, but we'll discuss in detail. Okay, because when you configure web filtering, you can discuss a lots of things. For example, inspection mode. Here we have two type of inspection mode, is called flow-based, proxy-based. So we'll discuss in detail. But right now, I'm giving idea. With web filtering, you can block any, you can block, allow, monitor any specific URL or URL categories. Yes. Okay. Fortinet firewall is a next generation firewall. Okay, so this firewall can detect applications, behalf of application signature database. For example, in my organization, I want to block Facebook application. I want to block LinkedIn application. I want to block YouTube application. Yes, I can do this. Either you can go with a specific application or you can go with the application group, application category. For example, I want to block all email category application. I can do this. I can block with application control. In Fortinet, this is called application control. In Palo Alto, this is called app ID, application identification. So don't confuse, okay? The concept is common. Application control concept is a common. So with application control, your firewall can detect application and you can take an action. Antivirus profile, your firewall can detect malicious information, virus, spyware, malware. Your Palo Alto firewall or your antivirus profile can detect behalf of antivirus signature database and can take an action. File filter is also a security profile. Let's take example, in your organization, you don't want to allow exe file. For example, exe file or PDF file. No one can upload or download exe or PDF file in your organization. These are what? These are the file extension, right? Everyone? exe, PDF, MP4, MP3, WMP. These are what? These are the file extensions. So in my organization, if I want to, block, no one can upload or download exe file or PDF file, I can do this with file filter option. So these are called security profile concept. Okay, now next topic is called FortiGate AD. What is FortiGate AD? See, as per your firewall policy, wait, I told you, as per your firewall policy, wait. Okay, so as per your firewall policy, traffic is traveling. For example, this inside machine IP address is 192.168.10.10. So this inside machine is trying to hit onto this incoming interface port number 2 and outgoing interface is port number 1. So traffic is traveling as per your firewall policy. And I have a rule. I have what? I have a firewall policy right now. So this is called a firewall policy. For example, this is called firewall policy rule 1. This is your first rule. For example, as per this firewall policy, traffic is traveling. So if someone will hit onto this rule, you can monitor the log. You can monitor your traffic. If someone will hit onto this firewall policy, you can verify the log information. So in log, you can get only incoming interface, hello, can you hear me, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Sunita?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can hear you.
Okay, so if you verify your log information, so you will get incoming interface, outgoing interface, going interface, source IP, destination IP, but you don't know which user account. You don't know which user account is trying to access this malicious information from outside. So for full visibility, we can discuss FortiGate AD. Sunita, remember a concept in
Yes, sir.
ALTO training. Remember a concept?
Exactly.
User
Yes.
ID?
Mm-hmm.
User ID. Same concept we
Yes.
have here. Same concept we have is called FortiGate AD, or you can say firewall
Aggregated.
authentication. In Fortinet, this concept is called FortiGate AD or firewall authentication.
Authentication.
So for full visibility, what we can do, we can create user account. We can create user account. So you have two options, guys. You have two options. Either you can create your user account in local database, in FortiGate firewall, local database, or you can go with the remote authentication server. Remote authentication servers. Like we have multiple remote authentication server like Radius,
TACAS.
EIUS, TACAX we have. Or LDAP, or you can say Active Directory, LDAP.
Accurate.
So what you can do, either you can create user account in local database and you can use this local database user account in your firewall policy configuration, or you can integrate your firewall box with any remote authentication servers like Radius, TACAX, LDAP. So in this section, in this FortiGate AD, I can tell you how to work with user account, how to create user account in local database, how to create group account in local database, or in case if I'm working in a big organization and I want to integrate my firewall box with remote authentication server, yes, I can tell you how to configure, how to integrate. So this concept is called what? FortiGate AD. After that, we can go on to the virtual domain, and it's a common topic. In Cisco, this concept is called virtual firewall. virtual firewall. We can divide our single firewall box into multiple virtual firewall. Multiple virtual firewall. See, for example, here we have a FortiGate firewall device, and this firewall is connected with a switch. We have multiple computers, you can say, or multiple departments. For example, in LAN side, I have multiple departments. For example, marketing department, sales department, and HR department. So this is called marketing, sales, and HR. And these departments are connected with the firewall device. So now let's talk about a scenario. Okay, wait, Arjun, can you hear me? Arjun. Arjun, you are late. Can you hear me, Arjun? Okay, let's continue. Mustafa, Suresh, Sunita.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's
Yeah,
talk
we
about
can-
scenario. Let's talk about scenario. So for example, here in LAN side, we have multiple departments like marketing, sales, and HR. Multiple departments. So for example, for each department, my requirement is different. For each department, I want to configure separate type of routing concept, separate type of translation rule. I want to configure separate type of firewall policy, or you can say for marketing and for sales, I want dedicated L3 firewall, and for HR, I want a dedicated L2 firewall. So in this small scenario, in this small network, what we can do, we need 3 separate dedicated firewall for each department. Single firewall box cannot handle. It means this single device as per requirement, for example. So what you can do, you can purchase 3 separate boxes. That is the solution. But if you are going with the 3 separate physical boxes, then the cost is very high. That's why what we can do, we can purchase a single big box, and with the help of a license, you can divide your single firewall box into multiple virtual firewall device. Okay, you can divide your single firewall box into multiple virtual. This concept is called VDOM. In short, you can say VDOM concept or virtual domain. So now we have firewall box 1, firewall box 2, and firewall box 3. So these are what? These are interfaces. These are interfaces. So now marketing traffic. Marketing traffic is traveling via marketing firewall box. Sales traffic is traveling via sales firewall device. And HR traffic is traveling via HR firewall. So now we have 3 independent units. These are the logical, but these are the 3 separate independent devices. Firewall box 1 don't know anything about firewall box 2 and 3. So we can divide our single firewall box into multiple firewall box. This concept is called VDOM. It means this is called firewall marketing VDOM, sales VDOM, HR VDOM. So what is the concept? How to divide, how to work with VDOM concept, we'll discuss in detail. But this is the basic concept. Sunita, clear for you?
Sir.
What is VDOM? We can divide our
Yes, sir.
single firewall box. Mustafa, Arjun,
Yeah, understood.
Desh.
Jitendra, I have some question. Can I ask now? Or can I-
Sure. You can ask. No problem.
Yeah. This is same like virtual VLAN, right? The in switch, whatever we are.
You
creating.
can say. Like
Yeah. So in this case, do we require multiple ISP link or one link is
see,
enough?
it depends upon scenario, Suresh. Depend upon
Okay.
scenario. We have to, when we will discuss VDOM concept in detail,
Mhm.
I will tell you 2 scenarios. First is called independent. Let me show you. Right now, I'm giving you the basic idea I told you, but when we'll talk in detail, so I will show you the scenario. See, so we have two scenarios. It's Suresh question, right? Suresh?
Yeah.
See, so we'll discuss two scenarios, Suresh. First scenario is called independent vDoms, or next scenario you can discuss is called routing through a single vDom. So see, in this scenario, we need a separate internet ISP link for each vDom. Clear my point?
Yeah.
Or maybe in your organization you have a single ISP connection, maybe, right? Maybe you
Yeah. We have only one
have
connection.
multiple departments in your LAN side, but on your WAN side you have a single ISP connection, right? So we'll discuss this scenario, no problem. Clear my point now?
Yeah.
We'll discuss. Any other question, Suresh?
Nothing. That's all.
Sunita, any question?
No, sir.
Arjun, you are late, dear. Arjun, can you hear me? Arjun, dear, can you hear me? Mustafa, any question, dear?
Not yet. It's okay.
Okay, now the next topic we can focus on layer 2 firewall. Layer 2 firewall. Remember, always you can use your firewall device in two modes. Either you can use your firewall as a L3 firewall device, or you can say NAT mode firewall, or you can say L3 firewall, or you can say routed firewall, or you can use your firewall mode as a L2, or you can say transparent firewall. See, for example, if I have a firewall device and this firewall mode is a NAT, let's take an example. If this firewall mode is NAT mode, so we can configure IP address onto these interfaces. We can configure IPs onto these interfaces. We can configure routing onto this firewall, NAT, VPN concept, and yes, it's a next generation firewall. So we can use next generation firewall feature. We can use next generation firewall feature. So how to work with a layer 3 firewall device? I can tell you here in introduction and initial configuration, routing, NAT we can implement, VPN we can implement on L3 firewall, on NAT mode firewall. But let's take example, if I'm using this firewall device, as a layer 2, for example, as a layer 2 firewall. So if this firewall is acting as a layer 2, or you can say as a transparent firewall, so you cannot configure IP address here. Onto these interfaces, you cannot configure IP address because these interfaces are acting as a layer 2. It's not a switch port. It's a layer 2 interface. It means we cannot configure IP address onto this interface. That's it. And it's a layer 2 firewall box, so we cannot configure routing. We cannot configure NAT, VPN, no. But yes, it's a next generation firewall, so we can use next generation firewall feature. So the point is with L3 firewall, or you can say with NAT mode firewall, we have a great feature. First, we can configure IP address on interface, we can configure routing, NAT, VPN. So we have a great feature with NAT mode firewall. With layer 2 firewall box, we have some limitation, right? These are the limitations. So in this scenario, we can use our firewall as a layer 2. That is the point. That is the question. In this scenario, we can use our firewall device as a layer 2. So we'll discuss in detail. But right now, I'm giving you the idea. So this is what layer 2 firewall. Layer 2 firewall concept is called transparent firewall. So we can discuss in detail about layer 2 firewall. Clear my point?
Yes, sir.
After that, we can go on to the login and monitoring. This topic can help you for troubleshooting. If someone will hit on your NAT policy, if someone will hit on your firewall policy, or on your security profile, or if there is any routing problem, packet loss, something, or if there is any interface down, up, something, there is some issue, or maybe VPN tunnel is down. So these type of logs we can discuss in logging and monitoring. Into this section. Into this section, I can discuss GUI and CLI both. I can discuss both log GUI and CLI. So in CLI, what we have, we can capture the packet. We can capture the packet with CLI option. I can show you some commands syntax with graphical page. I can show you all the logs related with security profiles, related with firewall policy, related with NAT routing. So for logs, there are two options. Either you can store your log in local database. Either you can store your log in local database, or you can go with the remote logging server like syslog, or you can go with the SNMP. So I can show you both how you can send your logs on syslog and on SNMP, or how to store our logs on in local database. So logging and monitoring is an interesting topic. Here we can discuss some troubleshooting. After that, we can go on to the VPN section, chapter number 12 and 13. These two topics are dedicated for VPN section. So first we can focus on what is VPN, virtual private network, what is the feature to use VPN concept. And if you talk about VPN implementation, so we can discuss two concepts, IPsec, and second is called SSL VPN. IPsec we are using for site to site VPN connectivity. If you want to connect multiple branch offices, for example, wait. So for example, if we have multiple branch offices, and if you want to connect these branch offices over this public network, over this untrusted network in a secure manner, so you can go with the site-to-site VPN implementation. For site-to-site, you can use IPsec. In Fortinet, we will discuss 3 labs only for site-to-site VPN connectivity. In Fortinet, we can focus on route-based site-to-site VPN. Then you can discuss policy-based site-to-site VPN. And third option is called what? Template-based site-to-site VPN. So we have 3 concepts. We have 3 scenarios to discuss site-to-site VPN implementation. Okay, the next concept in VPN we can discuss is called remote access VPN. In remote access VPN, this home user, you can say, this home user or this remote user or this outside user, for example, he has a simple internet connectivity and he's trying to access company private resources. For example, here we have company private resources. Here we have web server, SMTP server, DNS server, for example, multiple servers. And this outside user, this home user, this whole remote user, you can say, is trying to access company private resources over this public network. So this outside user, he need to establish a connection. He need to establish a connection, a VPN connection. This connection is called what? Remote access VPN connection. So first, he need to establish a VPN connection. And once this connection is established, so he is allowed to access company private resources. He can access. And now the traffic in between his laptop and this VPN gateway device is fully secure. So for remote access VPN configuration, either you can go with the IPsec or you can go with the SSL VPN. You can go with the SSL VPN. In SSL VPN, we can discuss 2 concepts here. In SSL VPN, we can discuss 2 concepts. It's called tunnel mode. And second option is called web mode. Tunnel mode and web mode. So only this chapter number 12 and 13 are only these 2 topics will take 6 to 7 hours to finish it. This IPsec, because in IPsec site-to-site VPN implementation, we have 3 labs: route-based, policy-based, and template-based. And to configure remote access VPN, I can show you both options: how to configure with IPsec or how to configure with SSL. In SSL, we have 2 labs. We can go with the tunnel mode option or we can go with the web mode option. Clear my point? Arjun, can you hear me? Mustafa, Sunita?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so these 2 chapters, chapter number 12 and 13, these 2 topics are related with VPN concept. After that, we can go on to the high availability. It's a common topic. High availability is a common topic. You can say in Cisco, you can say failover concept. In Palo Alto, you can say high availability. In Checkpoint, you can say clustering. So what is high availability? See, for example, I'm working with a small scenario. I have a firewall device with LAN connectivity and WAN connectivity. Everything is working fine into this topology. Everything is working fine. It means traffic is traveling. Traffic is traveling via this firewall box. We are using routing here, NAT, VPN, security profile. Everything is working fine. And traffic is traveling. But here into this scenario, into this topology, we have a problem. We are working with single firewall device. And there is no any backup. There is no any redundancy. In case if this box goes down, then you will lose your connectivity. Your LAN user cannot go onto the internet site, cannot access internet services. In that case, what we can do, we can add one more device. In that case, we can go with the high availability. For high availability, I can add one more device. It's called Firewall Box 2. This is called Firewall Box 1. And now I need to change my topology. Right now, I'm giving you the basic idea, but we will discuss in detail. Okay. So we have WAN connectivity and LAN site. So second firewall box I'm using for high availability. If you talk about high availability concept here in Fortinet, so we can discuss active passive and we can discuss active mode. These are called what? These are high availability mode. Active passive, active. In active passive scenario, you can utilize only one firewall device into your high availability cluster, and rest of the firewalls in the cluster, they are acting as a passive device. Clear my point?
Yes, sir.
Guys, wait 1 minute. Okay, can you hear me, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Srita, Suresh, Mustafa?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, Jitendra.
Okay, so now in active passive cluster, in active passive high availability, we can utilize only one firewall device. And rest of the firewall in the cluster, they are acting as a passive state. So see, and in between firewall box 1 and firewall box 2, we are using a link. This link is called HA link, high availability link. In case if you are working with Palo Alto firewall device, so in Palo Alto, we need 2 link. It's called high availability HA, high availability link 1 and high availability link 2. This is called control link, and this is called what? Data link.
Data.
In PALO, but in Fortinet, in Cisco, we need a single failover link. Single failover link will handle all the configuration. Okay, but if you want to add one more link, so in Fortinet, so this link we are using only for backup. In case if this link is down, so this second link will take the responsibility. So I will tell you in detail, but this is what high availability concept. So now in active passive, for example, this device is active and this device is passive. Traffic is traveling. In case if this box is not working, is down, then your firewall box 2 will take the responsibility and this box will become active. And traffic is automatically traveling via this firewall device. So in active passive, you can utilize only one firewall box in the cluster. And rest of the firewall box, they are acting as a passive. But in case if you want to utilize all the firewall box, for example, all the firewall devices, so you can go with the active. In active cluster, you can utilize all the firewall devices, all the firewalls. Clear my point? This concept, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Jitendra.
Mustafa, any question? Suresh, do you have any question?
So which mode is better? Active is better or active passive?
Depend upon your scenario, Suresh. Okay, most of the organization, they are using active passive.
Okay.
They are using active passive.
So see, as per my experience, what happened, the passive is sometime what happened if you are not using them, it might be hardware failure or something, it would be happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe active is better, right?
No, see, in active passive, you can set a timer. Once this, for example, if this device is down, okay, in 1 or 2 seconds, this firewall box will come up again. This second firewall box will act as active.
Okay.
It's a quick timer. You can use, for example, after 2 seconds, this firewall box will act as active. So yes, you can use, no problem.
So do we have that preempt option here?
Preempt, yes,
It's a timer.
we can use preempt options. We can use preempt, we can use priority, we can go with the cluster settings. We'll discuss in detail, okay? But this is high availability. Clear my point?
Yes.
So only this concept, this high availability concept will take minimum 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours to finish. So this is just an introduction session, guys, okay? Session, we can start our session because in your batch there are 7 students. And today only 3 students are available right now. So we can start our training, our first topic, introduction and initial configuration from next weekend. And our timing is fixed. Our timing is 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Clear, everyone?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's continue our topic in next class.
Only Sunday.
Sir, you are in
No,
mute.
it's a weekend batch. No, it's a Saturday and Sunday batch.
Oh, okay, fine.
Saturday and
Because
Sunday.
we started from Sunday, that is why I'm going.
Yes. Okay, everyone. So let's continue our topic in next session.
Okay,
Bye,
sir.
guys. Take care, everyone. Good night.
Thank you, sir. Same to you.
Jitendra,
Bye.
Yes.
one sec.
Yes.
See, actually, in FortiGate website, they are showing this one NSF and module 1 and 2 is the free certificate, right?
Yes. These are the certification. In Fortinet, we have NSC 1, 2,
1,
NSC 7.
2. Yeah, correct.
NSC
See,
7. And
1 and 2 is
1, 2, and 3. NSC 1, 2, and 3. These are the free certifications.
okay.
You can log in. You can go with the training.fortinet.com. You can create an account. You can log in. You can watch some videos. You can attempt some questions, and you can pass your examination. This NSC 1, 2, 3. This will take hardly 1 to 2 hours to pass this examination. NSC 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
Our training is related with NSC 4.
Okay.
NSC 4. After NSC 4, you can go for NSC 5. NSE 5. This is called Fortimanager. This is called Fortimanager. Fortimanager training plus Fortianalyzer. And you can go with the NSE 6 or NSE 7. NSE 7 is called Advanced Enterprises Firewall. We'll discuss, okay? But this is our training, NSE 4. Clear?
So do we need to have to follow this sequence like to clear?
No. These are just introduction.
Mhm.
These are just introduction. It's not related with firewall.
No, for 7 we need to clear the 6th one, or we can skip it.
No, see, for training you can start. You have to start first with NSE 4. After that you can start any device.
Okay.
First start with the NSE 4. After that, and after NSE 4, you can directly move on to the NSE 7. No problem.
Okay.
Jitendra, can you help me to this? Can you guide me to how to clear this NSE 1 and 2, 3?
Yes, I will see. I will tell you. In our next class. This is our topic. Let me show you. This is our topic. We will discuss Fortinet certifications. Let me show you.
Okay.
Today it's just a topic discussion, but yes, I will tell you. See, NSE certifications. See.
Okay.
Clear?
Okay.
Okay, everyone. Bye, guys. Take care. Good night, everyone.
Okay.
Bye, sir.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Hear me, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, guys. Let's
Yes,
start
sir.
the session now. Okay. Please
Yes,
turn off your mic. In case if you have any question, you can unmute. So let's start our discussion. In previous session, we are completed our topic discussion, and today we can start our first topic. It's called Introduction and Initial Configuration. Our first topic is Introduction and Initial Configuration. Wait. So this training is related with NSE 4. These are what Fortinet certifications, and Fortinet training is called NSE program. This is called NSE program. It's called Network Security Expert Program. It has 8 level of certifications. Like in Cisco, we have CCNA, CCNP, and CCIE. In PALO ALTO, you can go with PCNSA, PCNSE. In Checkpoint, we have CCSA and CCSE. Same in Fortinet, we have 8 level of certifications. So in NSE program, we have NSE 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. NSE 1, 2, and 3. These 3 certifications are totally free. Totally free. What you can do, you can go on training.fortinet.com. You can log in with training.fortinet.com. You can create an account. If you don't have account, so you can click on sign up. You can create your account and you can log in. You can log in with your ID and password. Once you log in, so you can watch some videos for NSE 1, 2, and 3, and you can watch some video and you can attempt some questions. NSE 1, 2, and 3, it will hardly take maximum 1 to 2 hours to get the certifications. NSE 1, 2, and 3. You can watch some video, you can attempt some questions. Hardly it will take 2 hours. 2 hours. But our training is related with NSE 4. This is called NSE 4, Fortinet Firewall Deployment. And this is our program. This is our training. In case if you want to go for advanced training, so you can go for NSE 5. NSE 5 is related with Fortianalyzer and Fortimanager. This is advanced training. After that, you can go for NSE 6, NSE 7, NSE 7, NSE 8. So I'm certified from NSE 1 to NSE 7. Okay, so let's focus on NSE 4 concept. This is our training part. Clear my point, everyone? Our focus is on what? How to work with Fortinet Firewall box, how to deploy, how to configure, how to troubleshoot. Clear? Jayaprakash, Sunita, Arjun, Kusamran, Mustafa.
Yeah, clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now.
Yeah, got it.
Okay, so As an administrator, if you want to, purchase a firewall, you want to buy a firewall for your organization. So before buy a firewall or before purchase a firewall for your organization, you need to review some features before go with a vendor, because in market we have multiple vendors. Let me show you. These are the vendors for next generation firewall. These are the vendors. We have multiple vendors for next generation firewall features. We are learning Fortinet. Fortinet is what? It's a next generation firewall. So this is Gartner report, okay? This report you can download from Google, and Gartner divided all the vendors in the categories. So as per Gartner, we have 4 categories: leader in the market, challenger, nice player, and visionaries. So Palo Alto, Fortinet, and Checkpoint. These 3 vendors are the leader in the market right now. They are the leaders. If you talk about Cisco, Cisco is a challenger. He's not a leader because of Cisco FTD. Cisco Firepower Threat Defense. This is Cisco next generation firewall. So Cisco is not a leader in the market for next generation firewall feature. He's a challenger. But leaders, Palo Alto, Fortinet, and Checkpoint. Our focus is on Fortinet. So this Fortinet is a leader. So before purchasing a firewall for your organization, you need to review some feature. First feature is what? Architecture. So you need to know the architecture of each vendor. Right now, I'm not talking about Fortinet, okay? I'm talking about a simple firewall. So you need to know the architecture of each vendor. For example, if you talk about Checkpoint firewall box, for example, Checkpoint. So in Checkpoint is what? It's a software-based firewall. You can download Gaia operating system in Checkpoint. You can go onto the Checkpoint website. You can download this Gaia operating system. You can install on your laptop, desktop, your machine, and you can use your laptop as a complete firewall. This is Checkpoint architecture. In Palo Alto, you can go with the dedicated device. You can go with the physical device. You can go with the VM firewall box. So every vendor has its own architecture. So before purchase a firewall or before go with any vendor, you need to know the architecture about Palo Alto, about Fortinet, about Checkpoint. So prefer a software firewall that you can install on a new or existing PC, or you can go with the dedicated appliance like physical device, physical firewall box, or VM firewall box. So you need to know first the architecture of each vendor. You need to verify the number of session. For example, if I am working in a small organization, so there is no requirement for mid-range firewall box. Or in case if I'm working in a big organization, so I can't go with the entry-level firewall box, because each firewall box has their own capabilities, right? Let me show you. For example, in Fortinet, these are the entry-level firewall box. Fortinet 30 to 90 series. This series is called entry-level firewall. Mid-range, Fortinet 100 to 900. High-end appliance 1000, 3000, 6000, and HSPs. So in case if I'm working in a big organization, so I cannot go with the entry-level firewall box because we have limited resources, limited CPU, RAM, storage. So number of stations is important, okay? In case if you are working with a big organization, so you need to go with the high-end or mid-range model. So number of station, what we have, how many concurrent firewall station does firewall need to support? So number of station. For this, you can check, data sheet. For example, you can go with the series. You can search, for example, if you have Fortinet 30E model. So you need to take a help from Google. Okay, you can download the data sheet about Fortinet 30E. You can verify about number of sessions, okay, traffic information, RAM, CPU, storage. Okay, the next option is what? Next option is called VPN. So, in my organization, for example, they are dealing with site to site, for example, or they are dealing with remote access VPN. Okay, they are using side to side, they are using remote access or they are using IPsec. So can I configure these type of VPN onto this vendor, onto this firewall? So we need to review. Okay, integration. In case if I want to integrate my firewall box with any server, like remote authentication server like Radius, TechAx, or in case if I want to integrate my firewall box with Exchange mail server or SharePoint collaboration server, so can I integrate? In case if I want to manage this firewall device through CLI, through graphical, can I manage? In case if I want to manage through Telnet, SSH, and SNMP, and in case if I have multiple firewall, in case if I have multiple firewall, for example, right now we are talking about Fortinet. So if I have multiple Fortinet firewall 1, firewall 2, firewall 3, firewall 4, if I have, for example, 20 firewall box, and in case if I want to manage all the firewall box from a centralized location, so like other vendor, for example, in Palo Alto, if you want to manage multiple Palo Alto firewall device, you need, in case in Palo Alto firewall, in case if you want to manage multiple Palo Alto firewall box, you need a centralized device, it's called PALO. In case if you want to manage multiple checkpoint gateway, so you required a centralized device, it's called checkpoint management, or you can say SMS server. In case if you have Cisco FTD, Cisco Next Generation Firewall, if you have multiple Cisco FTD and you want to manage all FTD device from centralized locations, so you need to go with the Cisco FMC. In Fortinet, in case if you want to manage multiple Fortinet firewall box, so yes, we have like other vendor, we can go with the Fortimanager device. So for centralized management, yes, in Fortinet we have feature. We can go with the Fortimanager. Like other vendor, we have an option. Okay, in case if I want to go for the high availability in my organization, they are working with high availability, or they want failover concept. They want to implement failover or high availability. So can I configure high availability or failover? So these are some basic features you need to review before purchase of firewall in your organization. Clear my point, everyone? Clear now? Anita,
Yes, sir.
Arjun, Gursimran, Jayaprakash, Mustafa.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let's talk about some, okay, these are what you cannot say which firewall is good, because each firewall has its own feature. If you compare, if you want to compare, so after Fortinet you can go with the Palo Alto. After Fortinet you can go with the checkpoint firewall box. After that you can compare, okay, but you cannot say which firewall is good. Okay, each vendor, they have its own feature, but these are the top firewall box like Fortinet. See, this is what Sony Wall, Checkpoint Firewall Box, Palo Alto, Cisco, and Fortinet. Now let's talk about some history about Fortinet. So Fortinet was founded in 2000 by two brothers, Ken and Michael. The company first product was FortiGate Firewall Box, but now they are dealing with a multiple product. Now let me show you. If you talk about Fortinet products, so these are the Fortinet devices. Fortinet device, not Fortinet firewall. Fortinet devices. See, FortiGate firewall, Fortianalyzer, Fortimanager, FortiCamera, FortiSwitch. So like Cisco, Fortinet is also dealing with other products. But our focus is on what right now? Into this training, we can focus on how to work with FortiGate firewall device. So let's talk about first factory default setting. For example, if I have a high-end model, for example, let me show you high-end model. So these are the high-end model. Fortinet 1000, 3000, 6000 series. So these are the high-end model. So in case if you have high-end model, so on high-end model you will get a dedicated management port. Yes, you have data interfaces, no problem. These are what data interfaces. You can connect your LAN network, WAN side, DMZ portion, no problem. But in high-end firewall box, you will get a dedicated management port, MT port. What you can do, you can connect your laptop, your desktop machine with this management port. By default, we have this IP address 192.168.1.99. If you don't have, no problem, you can configure. I can show you how to configure IP address on port. No problem, I can show you. Okay, so here we have what management port. You can connect with management PC, and in case if I have this IP address, so same series of IP I can configure onto this management PC. Same series of IP I can configure. From this machine, I can check connectivity because by default, these services are enabled by default. These services are enabled on management port. Ping, HTTP, HTTPS, SSH protocol, only on management port. I can show you only on management port. So on high-end model or mid-range model, you will get a dedicated management port for configuration. Okay, in case if you have entry-level firewall, entry-level means what? We have a series in between Fortinet 30 to 90 series. This is what entry-level firewall. So in case if you have entry-level firewall box, so on entry-level firewall box, we have only data interfaces. Like for example, port number 1, port number 2, port number 3, 4, 5, 6. So on entry-level firewall box, we can use our port number 1 as a management port. Why? You can use any port as a management port, no problem. But port number 1 you can use as a management port. Why? Because by default onto this interface, these services are enabled only on port number 1. So you can connect your management PC. You can configure IP address here onto this machine. You can take a console. You can configure IP address on port number 1. Same series of IP address we can configure onto this management PC. We can verify our connectivity. Now for graphical, we can use HTTPS. For CLI, we can go with the SSH. Default at username is admin on firewall and password is nothing. Let me show you. Hello, Bharti, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sunita, any question? Arjun, Gursimran, Jayaprakash, Mustafa?
No, sir.
No, I'm good.
Okay, so I have a simple topology. I have one FortiGate firewall box. one FortiGate firewall box, and one management PC. Wait. This cloud is acting as a management PC. So let's discuss a basic topology. One FortiGate firewall box and one management PC. This cloud is my laptop. So you can start, you can take a console. After this session, please share your email ID again, everyone in our WhatsApp group, so that I can share the software for lab setup. Okay, everyone?
Okay.
Please share your email ID in group.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so this is login page. This is console, everyone. This is console. So username is admin and password is nothing. You can press enter. Now you can set your password 123 123 I'm using. Now you are in FortiGate firewall box. You can type question mark here like Cisco. See, you can configure these commands: config, get, show, diagnose, execute, alias, exit. Let's start with show command, for example. Show command, show system interface. With this command, I'm trying to verify interface information. You can press enter. You can see here we have port number 1, port number 2, port number 3, port number 4. So we have 4 data interfaces onto this firewall box. By default, I told you on port number 1, these services are enabled by default. See, these services, ping, HTTPS, and SSH, these services are enabled only on port number 1. Okay, what about port number 2? Nothing is enabled. See, no services, no services, no services. Okay, one more thing. On port number 1, by default, DSCP service is enabled. So if you connect your port number 1 with any DSCP server, so this port can get IP address automatically from this DSCP server, because by default, DSCP is enabled. DSCP client service is enabled onto this particular onto this port number 1. So now I want to configure IP address on port number 1. Let me show you how to configure IP address on port number 1 manually. So for configuration, you can use a config command. Config system interface. So now you are in interface mode. And here I'm trying to edit port number 1. So edit port number 1. You can press enter. And I'm trying to configure IP address statically. So you can use a command set mode static for static IP address configuration. Now you can configure your IP address, set IP 192.168.1.190/24. You can press enter. Set allows. By default, these services are enabled, but in case if you want to allow some other services, you can type question mark. You can see we have multiple options. So in case if you want to allow HTTP, HTTPS, ping, SSH, telnet, done. Here, if you want to save your configuration in Fortinet, so you can use in the command. In Cisco, we have WR. In Palo Alto, what we have to save our configuration? Commit. In Fortinet, you can go with the end command to save your configuration. Done. Now, show system interface. This time you can verify you have IP address on port number 1, 192.168.1.190, mask and services. So we have a small topology, one FortiGate and this cloud. This cloud is what? It's my laptop. So let's verify basic connectivity. So I'm trying to verify connectivity from this laptop 192.168.1.190. Yes, I'm getting reply. Let's go on to the FortiGate firewall box. If you want to verify your connectivity, so command is execute. What you want to execute, because you have multiple options. So right now I'm trying to execute ping command, and IP addresses. So let's verify IP address on my laptop. IP config 192.168.1.3. So 192.168.1.3. I'm getting reply. So now we have a connectivity in between FortiGate and to this laptop. So you can open any browser. You can open any browser and you can use here IP address 192.168.1.190. Username is admin and password we are using 123. So this is your graphical page. सुनीता ये थोड़ा फास्ट ना फॉलो ऑल्टो से?
Yes, sir. बहुत.
Yes, more fast. Okay. So now what we have? This is our console page, console CLI, and here we have a graphical page. This is what our graphical page. We are working with VM Firewall box, so you can see here it's called FortiGate VM64K. So we have a VM Firewall box. If you have FortiGate 90D or 60E, so you will get the information here, FortiGate 90E. Now you can see we have multiple options here: dashboard, security fabric, network, system, policy and object, security profile, VPN, user and authentication, login report. We will work on each option, no problem. So let's start our discussion with dashboard first.
Sir?
Yes, Nika.
Like in Palo Alto, we can change the logo. We can add our company's logo or something like that.
Yes.
In the FortiGate also we can do that.
Yes, you can do. I will show you. I will tell you. No problem.
Okay, sir.
Now, so let's start our discussion with dashboard. So dashboard is selected. This is your dashboard. Dashboard we are using for monitoring. On dashboard, you can see we have some default option, some information I can verify, like CPU utilization, memory utilization, license information, system information. So let's start our discussion with the dashboard. So in dashboard, we have system information. So either you can go with the graphical page or you can go with the CLI. In CLI, you can type a command, get system status. So either you can go with the CLI command or you can go with the graphical page. Let's go with the graphical page first. So we have host name onto this firewall box is called FortiGate-VM64-KB. If you want to change, so no problem, you can change. See, you can go onto the CLI option. Command is config system global set host name, and this is, for example, firewall box 1. Now to save your configuration in Fortinet, command is end command. Done. You can refresh your page this time. And now you can see your firewall host name. Firewall host name is what? Firewall 1. Serial number of this firewall box. Firmware version, we are working with 6.4.4. And right now we have latest version 7.2.2, 7.4, I think. So this is what FortiOS version 6.4.4. Build version. Right now we have a mode. So remember, always we can use our firewall box as a L3 firewall, or we can go with the L2 firewall. L3 firewall is known as NAT mode firewall, and L2 firewall is called transparent firewall. So by default, this firewall mode is NAT mode. What is the difference between NAT and transparent? We can discuss here in layer 2 firewall topic. I will tell you, no problem. Okay. But right now the mode of this firewall box is layer 3. It's a NAT mode firewall box. System time, uptime, WAN IP is unknown because we didn't configure anything. License information you can verify. Right now we are working with VM firewall box, virtual VM firewall box, and this VM firewall box, you can perform all the labs, but this VM image is only valid for 15 days. After 15 days, what you can do, you can delete this Fortinet and you can add a new one, no problem. So here you can get license information like antivirus license information, web filtering license information, firmware and general update information, license, IPS license information. What is license information means? You can get what? Date issued, date expired, about license. Okay, so we have VM firewall box. We have a single CPU. We are utilizing 100% CPU. We have 2 GB RAM. We are utilizing 50% RAM. OT cloud not supported, security fabric information you can get. You can get multiple administrators information, all administrator information. So right now, this admin account is managing this FortiGate firewall box. See, admin account for graphical, yes, HTTP, and admin account for CLI console. One console and one HTTP. And with this administrator, we have a admin profile is called super_admin. What is super_admin? In Fortinet, we have two predefined profiles. Two predefined profile is called super_admin, and we have professional_admin. These are the two predefined profiles. We'll discuss in detail what is this super_admin and what is professional_admin. But right now you can see with our default administrator, with our admin account, we have super_admin profile. Now you can verify your CPU utilization, memory utilization, sessions information. So these are the default option. If you want to add more information on your dashboard, you can click on add, and you can add. See, we have multiple options. For example, I want to verify interface bandwidth. I want to verify bandwidth utilization on interfaces. So you can click on interface bandwidth. I want to verify bandwidth utilization on port number 3. You can click on add. In case if you want to verify high availability status, right now this firewall is not participating in any failover, but in case you can add HS status, add, close. See, so bandwidth for HS status. In case if you want to delete anything from dashboards, you can click here, you can remove. Clear? Any problem? Sunita, Arjun, Bharti, Gursimran, Jayaprakash, Mustafa?
Yeah,
No,
no
sir.
issues.
Clear everyone?
Good.
Okay, now let's talk about.
So, I'm so sorry.
Hello?
So, what is this Forti Explorer? So, administrator login. One is we can log in from console. One is from HTTPS. Yeah.
OT Explorer. कहाँ पे आपने देखा? कहाँ पे?
Sir, this administrator is the way of login. One is console.
ये
One is
अब use नहीं. We are not using OT Explorer now.
Okay.
It's an old option. Okay.
Okay.
To access Fortinet, there is an option Forti Explorer, but we are not using.
All right.
You can use a browser to access your Fortinet firewall box.
Yeah, I
Okay,
have
sir.
one more question, sir.
Yes, sure.
This changes has been applied for only we are in our system, or it will apply entire 48 firewall.
Entire Fortinet firewall box.
Okay, sure.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sir, I have one question.
Bharti, this is not like a Palo Alto, okay?
Okay.
In Palo Alto, you can configure, you can access your Palo Alto through browser, you can do changes. After that, you can commit. But in Fortinet is what? If you click on OK, it's alive.
Okay.
If you do any configuration, click on OK, it's alive. It's on Fortinet. Yes,
Okay.
Jayaprakash?
Sir, that firewall license will be when by the time of purchase it will be there in the license, or you should be pay for extra for that.
Can you please? Your voice is not clear. Can you please?
Hello.
Can you please
firewall
repeat?
license.
Firewall license.
License. It will be included in the by the time of purchase by the time of purchase of the firewall. It will be included, or you should be pay for the separately. For
You can talk to your salesperson. Okay, you can purchase a firewall separately and license separate. Both are separate thing, okay?
Okay.
You can purchase a firewall first. After that, as per your requirement, for example, you need license only for IPS and antivirus, so you can purchase license only for IPS and antivirus. Jayaprakash.
Okay.
For example, I don't require, you know, application control license or 40K support license. I don't want. So you can buy a firewall. After that, you can decide as per your requirement what license you need.
Okay.
Clear now?
Clear, sir. And
Okay.
one more question, sir.
Mhm.
That in the live environment, can we restart the firewall or any procedure we
No,
have to
no,
follow?
no. No need to
No.
do this, okay? In
Okay.
live
If it
scenario,
is no, if it is
cannot
restart means
restart
what
your
will be
firewall
the
box. If you have high availability option, failover, then you can do this. But otherwise, in live scenario, we cannot restart our firewall.
okay.
If you have high availability, for example,
Mhm.
if you have HA cluster, okay? If you have multiple FortiGate firewall box. So if you restart this firewall box one, no problem. Other firewall box will take the responsibility immediately. They can process the traffic, Jayaprakash.
Okay. Okay,
But
sir.
in
Got
case
it.
if you have a single firewall device in your organization,
Hmm.
so you cannot restart in live scenario.
So if internet goes down, what will we do, sir? You have the only one FortiGate firewall. Internet goes down. So how can you do
Internet
further
goes
process?
down, so that is the different issue, Jayaprakash.
Mhm.
Internet goes down or there's some hardware failure, so you can't do anything.
Okay.
Okay. If there's an internet issue or hardware failure in firewall, so you can't do anything. You have to replace.
So sir, my general questions. So that if it is internet, some you are slow, you are accessing slow internet, you are getting the slowness of the internet. So if you call the ISP vendor, they'll be tell you restart your firewall. Then
No, first you have to identify the problem is on your side or is on internet side. You have to rectify first. Why your traffic is slow? Okay. You have to troubleshoot it step by step. First, you can verify why. Maybe it's your firewall problem.
Okay.
Clear?
Okay, got it, sir.
Yeah, Prakash?
Yeah, got it, sir.
Yes. Arjun, any question? Or Simran? Mustafa, any question?
No,
here?
sir.
Yes, sir. This FortiGuard servers are like what, antivirus or what? Unable to connect to FortiGuard servers.
FortiGuard is a server, okay? We can connect our firewall device, our Fortinet with FortiGuard server to download latest signature update. Mustafa?
Yeah.
We can connect our FortiGate firewall box with FortiGuard server. If you have license, so yes, you can connect.
Okay.
Any other question? Sunita, any question?
No, sir.
Okay, let's continue. Jayaprakash, clear here?
Yeah, I have one question, sir.
Okay, yes.
Can you explain that firmware updation, sir? That FortiGate
Sure, I will tell you. Give me some time. Right now I'm talking about the basic concept. I will tell you how to upgrade, no problem.
Okay.
Okay, your question is how to upgrade your firmware, right?
Yes, sir.
It's a very simple task. I will tell you, no problem. Okay. We have an option. The setting I can tell you. You can click on firmware. If you have upgraded firmware, you can just browse it, you can upload it. But right now, my focus is on what? Basic configuration. I will tell you, no problem. Give me some time. Yeah, Prakash.
Okay, sir. Got it.
I need to go with step by step.
Okay.
So we are here. We are talking about introduction and initial configuration. This is our first topic. So let's talk about other information. This side, everyone. So here we have. If you click here, you can go with the search option. You can go with the search option. For example, if I want to configure interface, what I can do, I can click on network, I can click on interface, I can select interface here, edit. In case if I want to configure firewall policy, you can click on policy and object. You can click here on firewall policy, then you can decide. You can click on create. So in every tab, we have multiple options, right? In every tab, see? So for example, if I'm looking for interface related tab, so I can type my keyword interface here. So you can get all interface keyword related information. For example, I'm looking for network interface. If you click, it will automatically redirect onto the network and interface tab. So you can go with the search option to search any tab information. Okay, now you can go with the CLI console. CLI console. It's a console. But this console you can access when you have a graphical when you have a graphical page, then you can use this console. This is called graphical console. But this console you can access for first time to configure our port number 1. After that, I can access this FortiGate firewall box from this management PC. If I have access, after that we can use this CLI console. It's a console. See, so system interface. You can use all the commands. So this is for first time, and once you have a graphical access, you can click on CLI console option. Okay, for full screen, you can click here. You can exit your full screen option. Okay, this can help you for the topics. For documents you can see. Okay, you can click on online help. You can click on online help and see. It will automatically redirect onto the Fortinet document library. So you can get topic related information here. Right now we are working with FortiOS 6.4.4. If you have 6.2.2, for example, so you can click on FortiGate. You can click on FortiGate, and for example, I have 6.2. You can click here. It will automatically give you the option to download admin guide, cookbook, new features. In case if you have 7.0, you can click. You can download administration guide. Clear? So this tab can help you for documents. This bell icon is giving you the idea about the license. So we have a trial license onto this firewall box. Now, user account, we have admin account right now, and we are working with 48 VM64, 40 OS version is 6.4.4, build version 1803. In case if you want to restart your firewall device, so you can click on system, you can go with the reboot or shutdown. In CLI, you can use a command execute reboot to restart, execute shutdown to shut down your firewall box. I'm not using this command, I'm giving you an idea. So either you can go with the graphical page or you can go with the CLI option. Now configuration, if you click on configuration, so you can go with the backup and restore. Let's go with the backup option. If you click on backup, so you can see we have local PC. We have this option, local PC. It means I can store this backup configuration onto this local machine. Right now we don't have any configuration. So let's take a backup. Let's take a backup of this default configuration. So you can click on OK. So we have a backup file, but it's a default configuration backup. You can click on save. You can open your backup file. This is what our default configuration backup. But you can see that these configurations, see, this backup file, it is in a clear text format. Anyone can verify the configuration. In case if you want to encrypt your backup file, so you can enable this option, encryption. You can set password here. For example, 123, confirm password 123. Why? Because if someone trying to restore this backup file, so it's required password to restore. So you can set a password. You can click on OK. So again, we have a backup file, but this is what this backup is in a encrypted format. See, we have clear text backup. Now we have clear text backup. Clear text backup, and we have what? Encrypted backup. Clear the difference? Arjun, Aarti, Sunita, Kursimran, Jayaprakash, Mustafa.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So
Yeah, clear.
either you can go with the clear text backup or you can go with the encrypted backup. Okay, we have one more difference. We have one more difference in between both backup files. See, if you verify, guys, this first line, if you verify this first line is not encrypted. In our encrypted backup file, this first line is not encrypted. Only this first line. And yes, in our clear text, this is our first line. So why first line is not encrypted? Because first line will give you the idea about the 40 OS version and build version. Because you can restore this backup file only on same 40 OS version, same build version. See, 40 OS version is 6.4.4 and build version 1803. 40 OS version 6.4 and build version 1803. That's why your first line in your encrypted backup, your first line is not encrypted. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's take a break for 5 minutes, then we can continue. Okay, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Let's take a break for 5 to 10 minutes. We can start at 9 p.m. Okay, 10 minutes break.
Sure, sir.
Please turn off your mic, everyone, please.
Break
Okay, everyone, can you hear me? Arjun,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Arjun,
Yes.
Jayaprakash, Bharti,
Yeah, we
Sunita,
can.
Mustafa, or Simran. Okay, let's start our discussion now. Let's continue. So for backup, you can, Sunita, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I'm so sorry.
So this is the option what we can set it to local PC. You can click on OK. So you can go with the clear text backup, guys, or you can go with the encrypted backup. If you have a backup file, so in case if you want to restore, so you can click on configuration, you can click on restore. So you can upload your backup file, you can set your password. This will restart your firewall box and you can restore your configuration. So this is the first option. Okay? This is the first option. What you can do for backup and restore, you can click on admin, you can click on backup, you can select local PC. But in case in my organization, I want to send all backup configuration file on TFTP server. Maybe in my organization we have what TFTP server, trivial file transfer protocol. So in case if you want to send your firewall backup onto this TFTP server, so first you have to create your connectivity. So let me show you this option. So as per this topology, we have two devices, one FortiGate Firewall box and one laptop. So on my laptop, let me show you. On my laptop, I'm using TFTP application 3CW. You can download any TFTP application and you can install on your machine, no problem. I'm using this application. Why? Because this single application can help you for multiple practicals, like for TFTP, for FTP, for syslog. That's why I'm using this application. Otherwise, you can download any TFTP application and you can install on your machine. So now, in case if you want to send your all configuration backup on TFTP, so you can install a TFTP application on your TFTP server. You can click on configuration. This is just an example, guys. Okay, maybe in your organization you are using any other TFTP application, maybe. Okay, so now you can go with the upload and download directory. So for example, I want to send all my backup configuration file on desktop Palo Alto wildfire folder. You can click on OK, click on apply, click on yes, click on OK. So from firewall, you can verify your connectivity first. So execute ping, and my laptop IP address is 1.3. So 192.168.1.3. So my laptop is acting as a TFTP server. So yes, we have a connectivity in between firewall and TFTP. What we have? We have firewall and what? TFTP. We have a connectivity. So now you can use a command. You can use a command execute backup. Execute backup. Configuration backup, question mark. So now you can decide your location. So I want to send my backup file to TFTP server. So TFTP question mark is asking for a file name. So firewall 111 dot CFG. Now, question mark looking for IP address of TFTP. So IP address is what? 192.168.1.3. You can press enter. If everything is okay, so you can get a message here. See, send config file to TFTP server. Okay. And if you check here on your TFTP application, we are getting a notification message. Backup file, and backup file name is what? Firewall 111 CFG. You can check here in case if you want to check on Palo Alto wildfire folder. So yes, we have firewall 111. Clear? Everyone? So
Yes.
either you can go with the graphical page, you can go with the local PC, or in case if you want to send all your backup file to your TFTP server, you can do this. We have a single command. We have a simple command here. Execute backup config TFTP. You can decide your configuration file name and what IP address. Clear, everyone?
So, so basically, we have two ways to have the storage. One is the local PC, and one is the TFTP.
Remote, yes, remote server.
Mhm.
Clear now, everyone?
Yes.
Okay, now let's talk about next concept here. We are here in introduction and initial configuration, and we can focus on our next topic is called RBAC concept. Wait. Now let's talk about RBAC. What is RBAC? RBAC is called role-based access control. It's a common topic. It's a common topic for any firewall device. We can create multiple firewall administrator. For example, I have a FortiGate. And to manage this FortiGate firewall box, I can create multiple administrator. For example, wait. So for example, admin 1 and admin 2. So to manage this FortiGate firewall box, I can create multiple administrator. But I want to define the level of access. I want to define the different level of access for each administrator. For example, admin 1 is my L3 administrator. For example, L3 administrator. This administrator can log into this FortiGate firewall box and can do any kind of changes. He has full access permission. He can do any kind of changes. What about admin 2? So for example, admin 2 is my L1 administrator. L1 administrator. He can only view the configuration. He cannot change anything, for example. He cannot change anything. So we can define the level of access for each administrator. So first we can create administrator account. After that, we can create, to define the level of access, we can create admin profile. Admin profile. For example, I'm creating L3 admin. It's just a name. L3 admin, it's just a name. You can give any name here. So I can create L3 admin profile. Into this profile, I can give full access. Full access, for example. And this profile I can attach with admin 1. So whenever admin 1 will log into this FortiGate firewall box, he has full access. He can do any kind of changes. I can create another profile. It's called L1 admin. Into this profile, I can define the level of access. Into this profile, for example, I'm trying to attach a read-only permission. For everything, read-only permission. And this profile I can attach with admin 2. So this administrator can only read the configuration, cannot change anything. So this scenario, this concept is called RBAC, role-based access control. If you go onto your FortiGate firewall box, for example, if you click on system, if you see here we have two tabs, administrator and admin profile. If you click on administrator, so you can get all administrator information here. So we have a default administrator. Default administrator is called admin account. With this admin account, we have a default profile is called super_admin. Type is called local. It means this account is available in FortiGate firewall local database. So we have a single administrator right now. You can click on admin profile. Admin profile to create our profiles, admin profiles here. So you can click on admin profile. You can see we have two pre-defined profiles called professional_admin and super underscore admin. We have two predefined profiles. What is the difference between both super underscore admin and professional underscore admin? See, if you select this super underscore admin, so you can see we have view option. We have view option. You can click on view. So these are the level of access. These are the access control. Access control. What we have, see, network tab, system tab, security profile tab. So these are the access control. And for everything into this super underscore admin profile, for everything we have read write permission. Everything is allowed. And you cannot edit. See, there is no any option for edit. You can just click on return. You can go back. But if you select professional underscore admin, we have edit option. So this is the difference. This is the difference in between professional underscore admin and super underscore admin. You cannot edit super underscore admin profile. But if you want to edit, so you can edit your professional underscore admin. You can click on edit. And in case if you want to change any permission, for example, read, write, read, none, read, write, you can change. So this is the first difference in between super underscore admin profile and professional underscore admin profile. Okay, second difference we have, see. So what is the second difference in between super underscore admin profile and professional underscore admin profile? So in case if any administrator, for example, we have an admin account. If any administrator has super underscore admin profile, so he has full global access. He has full global access. It means this administrator can do any kind of changes. Now we have professional underscore admin profile. Professional underscore admin profile. What is professional underscore? See, remember I told you we have a topic in our training. We have a topic in our training is called VDOM concept. We can divide our single firewall box into multiple virtual firewall devices, right? So for example, we have firewall 1, firewall 2, firewall 3. So if any administrator has super underscore admin profile, so he has full global access. It means this administrator can go anywhere, can go in any firewall box, can do any kind of change. But what about professional underscore admin? Professional underscore admin. So I can create a separate administrator for firewall box 1. For example, admin 1 account. Admin 1 account. And with this administrator, I can attach professional underscore admin. I can attach professional underscore admin account, this profile. So now this time, this administrator has full access. He has full access, but only in this window, only in this firewall device, only in firewall box 1. He cannot do anything in firewall box 2, in firewall box 3. Clear my point? The second difference, if any administrator has professional underscore admin profile, so he has full access, but only in virtual domain. Clear? Everyone? Arjun, Bharti, Gursimran, Jayaprakash, Sunita, Mustafa.
Yes, clear, sir.
Okay, now let's create some profile. These are the two predefined profile. And see, here we have a tab. See, here we have a reference tab. What is reference tab means? See, if you verify this super underscore admin, So with super underscore admin, we have a reference to. It means this profile we are using somewhere in configuration. See, if you click on to, you can get a detailed information. So this profile you are using with admin account and in single sign-on. And if you go with professional underscore admin, so you are not using anywhere. That's why it's a 0. So these are two predefined profiles. In case if you want to create your own custom profile, you can click on create new. You can give a name, for example, L3 admin. This is my custom profile, L3 admin. Into this L3 admin, I'm trying to set read-write permission. Read-write permission for everything. You can click on OK. So we have our custom profile. You can click on create new. Let's create one more profile. It's called L1 admin. And into this profile, I'm using permission read permission for everything. You can click on OK. So we have two predefined profile and two custom profile. Now you can click on administrator, click on create new, click on administrator, and I'm trying to create admin 1. Okay, now here we have a type. Type is called what? Local user. It means I'm creating this admin account in FortiGate Firewall local database. In case if you have any remote authentication server like Radius, DACAX, LDAP, so yes, you can go with this option. But right now for basic lab, I'm using local user. But yes, I will show you how to integrate our firewall box with remote authentication server like LDAP, Radius into this topic, FortiGate 8. Okay, so let's create user account in local database. Password I'm using, for example, 123. Confirm password 123, and I'm trying to attach L3 admin profile with admin 1, L3 admin profile. You can click on OK, no problem. But here we have a tab, restrict logging to trusted host. You can enable this option. You can specify here a trusted host. It means only this specific IP address can access this FortiGate firewall box with this user account. For example, 192.168.1.3/32. Only this IP can access FortiGate firewall box with this user account. Or you can define your complete subnet .0/24, or you can add multiple hosts. So I'm not using, but this is the option. You can click on OK. So we have an admin account, admin 1, profile L3 admin profile, type is local. Let's create one more administrator. You can click on administrator and admin 2, for example. Password I'm using 123. Profile L1 admin. You can click on OK. So we have 2 administrators. Any problem? Gursimran, Jayaprakash, Mustafa, Sunita, Arjun.
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay, so now let's try to log out, and I'm trying to log in again. I'm trying to log in with admin 1 account. Password 123. Admin 1 account. So with admin 1 account, if you remember guys, with admin 1 account, we have a profile is called L3 admin profile, right? L3 admin profile. So this administrator can do any kind of changes. See, if you click on network, if you click on interface, if you select any interface, you can click on edit and you can edit your interface. You can click on policy and object, you can click on firewall policy, you can create a rule. You can click on system, you can click on administrator, you can create an administrator, no problem. But if you log out, for example, if you log out and log in again with admin 2. So remember with admin 2, we have a profile is called L1 admin profile. So with this administrator, we have L1 admin profile. Okay, so now if you click on, if this administrator admin 2, if click on network, click on interface, select any interface. So there is only view option. This administrator can only view the configuration. Policy and object, firewall policy, view option. Clear this, everyone? Clear this lab? This is
Yes,
small
sir.
topic, RBAC concept. Everyone?
Yes, sir, clear. Sir, in the live environment, can you log in and log out server?
Sorry, Japrakash?
On the live environment, can you log in and log out server?
Yes, you can, no problem.
Nothing settings will get changed, right, sir? If it log in and log out.
No. If you have multiple administrators, they can log in same time.
And okay, sir, I have one more question, but I have asked is that live environment, you should not be restart the firewall. Why, sir, you should not be restart the firewall?
Because maybe your clients, they are using some critical application. Maybe they are using. So before restart, you need to inform to all your clients, all your LAN users. I'm trying to restart. If there is anything,
Yes.
so you can close your application or something.
Okay, got it. If you restart, any settings will get changed that moment?
No. Why it's
Nothing will
changed?
get changed.
You are trying to restart only.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so now, clear everyone? Sunita, clear?
Yes, sir.
Arjun, Bharti, Simran, Mustafa.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, so please tell me, guys, one thing. See, please help me for this concept. So I have an admin 1 account. If you guys remember, with admin 1, we have a profile is called L3 admin. And with L3 admin into this session. I'm recording this session on my side. After this session, I will send it to you. Let's start our discussion on Fortimanager first. Parag, do you have any experience about Fortinet Firewall works? Parag?
Yes. I have recently hands-on FortiGate.
FortiGate, perfect. So are you NSE4 certified or only? Did you get any training? Do you have any training about that, or you are working only?
No, I have working on FortiGate.
FortiGate.
And second and third certification completed online.
Okay. So
Okay.
you have completed your NSE4 examination.
No, not 4, 2 and 3.
Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, these are the free certifications.
Yes.
Okay, Muzammil, dear Tariq, let's start our discussion, Parag. So today, first, Parag, please turn off your mic. If you have any questions, so you can unmute. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start our discussion, everyone. We are completed our 48 firewall training, and we can focus now on NSE5. Our NSE5 module is dedicated for 2 devices. Here we can discuss about Fortimanager, and second device we have is called what? Fortianalyzer, this option. Second device is called what? Fortianalyzer. So first, I'm trying to explain you the topic, the content, what we can discuss in our complete training. Fortimanager will take minimum 14 to 18 hours. Only Fortimanager. Okay, it will take, and what I can provide you from my side, I can provide you slides and notes. I think I already shared with you. You can check on Google Drive. Software for lab setup, where you can perform your all the practicals. Here we will discuss FortiOS 6.2. In our topology, we have Fortimanager operating system. It's called 6.2. I will show you anyhow. So let's start our discussion first with the topics. So this is called Fortimanager device, and these are the course outline. Total we have 7 modules. The first one is called Introduction and Initial Configuration. What is introduction and initial configuration? Like Fortinet. Remember, Muzammil, Tariq, our day 1 session on Fortinet Firewall box, our introduction and initial configuration. It means here I can tell you about how to access our Fortimanager device through CLI, through graphical, how to work with the CLI console option, what are the basic command, and some project family about Fortimanager. You can say basic idea. It's called introduction and initial configuration. Only this topic will take minimum 2 hours. After that, we can go and move on to the administration and management. For example, if I want to create multiple Fortimanager administrators, or for example, I want to verify the task information or event information, interface configuration, routing configuration on Fortimanager in case, how to take a backup. These are the basics options. These options are related with the administrations and management. After administration and management, you can go on to the device registration. What is device registration? See guys, Fortimanager is a device in Fortinet. If you are working with other vendor, for example, Palo Alto firewall, to manage multiple Palo Alto firewall box, we have a dedicated device. It's called Panorama. In case if you are working with Checkpoint firewall box, so to manage multiple Checkpoint firewall, we have a centralized device. It's called Checkpoint Management, or you can say SMS server. In Cisco next generation firewall box, in Cisco FTD, if you have multiple Cisco FTD devices, and if you want to manage from centralized location, so in Cisco we have a centralized box. It's called Cisco FMC, Cisco Firepower Management Center. So like these vendor, we have a same concept. Like these vendor, we have a concept of Fortimanager in Fortinet. So in case if you want to manage multiple Fortinet firewall devices, so here we can focus on Fortimanager. Okay, so on Fortimanager, you need to register all the devices. You need to register all the Fortinet product. In our training, we have 2 devices, Fortinet Firewall and Fortimanager. But you can register multiple Fortinet devices onto this Fortimanager. So device level registration, how to do device level registration, we'll discuss in deep. Okay, how to register our devices. And once you registered, how to do device level configuration, how to install device level configuration on all Fortinet devices like FortiGate Firewall box. So we can do device level configuration here, and these configuration we can push into the FortiGate Firewall box. So you can say device level configuration, how to configure, and how to install these configuration, how to push these configuration into Fortinet product, into FortiGate Firewall box. Like for example, we can create object on a centralized location. We can create IP address object, we can create services object, we can create security profile on a centralized location. We can create policies. For policies, you can go for the policy and object. So in chapter number 4, you can work with the device level configuration, like interface configuration, okay, interface level configuration, routing configuration on a centralized device. But for policy, for object information, we have a dedicated topic. It's called policy and object, where we can create multiple policy packages, and these policy packages we can push into the FortiGate. We can push into the FortiGate devices, or you can push into the FortiGate firewall box. Okay, once you complete your policy and object, then after that, once you configure all these options like device level configuration, device registration, management related task, policy configuration is done. Now you need to troubleshoot. You need to go with the troubleshoot option. Troubleshoot. What is troubleshooting? For example, maybe I'm using my Fortimanager device after Fortinet firewall box, maybe, or you can say after netted device. Okay, this router is connected with the internet, and my Fortimanager is not directly connected with the internet, not directly connected with the other Fortinet devices. Here we have a FortiGate firewall box. This is called FortiGate firewall box. So we can troubleshoot these kind of scenario. If Fortimanager is behind the netted devices, or if FortiGate is behind the netted devices. So we can discuss lots of troubleshooting. First, we can diagnose the problem, diagnose the scenario. Then we can troubleshoot, how to troubleshoot with basic command, with basic CLI command. And yes, we have an option. You can also troubleshoot with the graphical page, no problem. But the CLI, we can troubleshoot. After that, you can go for some additional configuration. What is additional configuration? For example, high availability configuration. Like in Fortinet, we can configure high availability or failover concept. Same option is available if you have multiple Fortimanager devices. So you can go with the high availability option. Okay, we can discuss one more topic in additional configuration. Like, guys, your Fortimanager device can act as a FortiGuard server for all your Fortinet products. Can act as a FortiGuard server. Remember FortiGuard concept? FortiGuard. In case if you are working with single Fortinet firewall box, so you can connect your firewall box with internet. And this Fortinet firewall box, if he is trying to download latest signature update, so he need to connect with the FortiGuard server. From FortiGuard server, this firewall can download antivirus signatures, can download application signature, can download malicious link information. In case if I'm working with a single firewall box, so no problem, I can connect with the internet. But in case if I have 50 firewall box, then 50 firewall, and I cannot connect all the firewall box with the internet. No. So what I can do, I can connect all my 14 firewall box with a centralized device is called Fortimanager. I can connect multiple FortiGate firewall box with centralized Fortimanager. And for these devices, for these FortiGate firewall box, this is a switch. For this FortiGate firewall box, these FortiGate firewall box, your Fortimanager is acting as a FortiGuard server. This Fortimanager is acting as a FortiGuard server. So if they want to download signatures, they can download from FortiGuard. They can download from Fortimanager because your Fortimanager is acting as a FortiGuard server for these products, for these devices. Even you can push, if you want to upgrade your operating system, you can upgrade your operating system from this Fortimanager device. So these are the topics, guys. We have approx 7 topics to discuss. Any problem? Mozambique? Tariq?
No.
Rag?
No.
Okay. So now next topic is called, next box we have discussed. We can discuss is called Forti Analyzer. So we can discuss course outline for Fortimanager later. Right now, we are trying to focus first on Fortimanager. So what is Fortimanager device exactly? Wait, let me open a slide. Guys, these slides are already shared with you. You can check on Google Drive. So I'm trying to start my discussion for Fortimanager. So the point is, first we can focus on purpose of Fortimanager. Why it's required? Because we can work with the FortiGate firewall box. But if we are working with one or two firewall box, no problem. Single administrator can manage both the devices. But in case if I have multiple Fortinet products or multiple FortiGate firewall box, then like for example, I have 50 FortiGate firewall box, then so we need to discuss the scenario. So we can focus on purpose of Fortimanager and what are the key features available in Fortimanager. And here in Fortimanager, we can discuss one concept is called ALTO. Remember our Fortinet training, Fortinet firewall training, Muzammil Tariq. We have a concept is called VROM concept. We can divide our single firewall box into multiple virtual
logical.
Yes. But here we have an ADOM concept. What is ADOM? It's called administrative domain. So what is the purpose of ADOM concept in Fortimanager? We'll discuss. And see, we need to identify which device are supported by Fortimanager. We need to discuss. So let's just start our discussion with the purpose. So any idea, any basic idea about the Fortimanager? Tariq, any idea? Parag, Muzammil? If you have any information about Fortimanager, you can share. What do you think about Fortimanager, everyone?
Sir,
Sure.
centrally controllable device which manage the multiple FortiGate devices as a firewall.
Okay. Tariq, you?
So for me, is Fortimanager would be like hosting other FortiGates. So for example, if you're talking about India, you got Bombay, you got New Delhi, you got a firewall in each city, you can host all of them in one under one Fortimanager box.
Yes. Muzammil?
Yes, centralized management means from where we can control all the clustering firewall at one time. Means whatever the configuration we will push on the Fortimanager, it will be updated in the rest of the clustering devices.
Clustering device.
Means central, yes.
Centralized device. We can manage
Yes,
all the
centralized.
devices from the central location.
From one dashboard.
Yes. See.
And also
Yes,
I want to
yes.
add one more thing, because
Mhm.
with the Fortimanager, not just the FortiGate itself you can manage. You can always manage the APs, you manage the VPN. You can manage all these networks just from one
Yes,
center.
all the Fortinet products you can manage. Okay, I will show you the device, which device is supported by Fortimanager. I will tell you. But yes, we can manage all the Fortinet products from centralized location. So what are the key features in Fortimanager? See, this is the small topology, guys. We have one branch office, FortiGate, second branch office, third branch office. And to manage these branch offices, we have a centralized devices called what? Fortimanager. So the first key feature we have in Fortimanager is called centralized management.
Centralized management.
Okay, centralized management. We can configure IP address on a centralized location. We can configure firewall policies information on a centralized location. We can create ADOM on a centralized location. So now the first feature is for what? To manage all the devices from a centralized location. Second, we can create ADOMs. What is ADOM? What is administrative domain? So let me show you. What is ADOM? ADOM is called administrative domain. ADOM group devices for administrator to manage and monitor. For example, here we have 4 FortiGate firewall box. FortiGate firewall box 1, 2, 3. And this FortiGate firewall 4 is divided into 3 VDOM. For example, VDOM 1, VDOM 2, VDOM 3. So what we can do, we can create ADOM option. We can create ADOMs, and these firewall we can put into the ADOM, and this ADOM we can assign to a administrator. What administrator? Like in OSPF, if you remember routing and switching concept, in OSPF we have an area concept. We can put all our devices into an area, right? So same kind of option, same kind of concept we have. We can put all our devices into the ADOM. Why we are putting all devices into the ADOM? What is the purpose? The purpose is to divide administrations of the device and control restrict access. So for example, this firewall box 1, firewall box 2 is a part of ADOM 1. And for ADOM 1, we have an administrator is called admin 1. Now admin 1 is also responsible for ADOM 2. And in ADOM 2, we have two firewall boxes, FortiGate Firewall 3 and FortiGate Firewall 4 VDOM. So the single administrator is responsible for two ADOM. It means he is responsible for FortiGate Firewall 1, 2, 3 and FortiGate Firewall 4 VDOM 1. So whenever he will log in, he can manage these. Now for ADOM 3, like FortiGate Firewall Box 2, VDOM 2, VDOM 3, we have a separate administrator. So like this, we can put all our devices into the ADOM, and these ADOMs we can assign to administrator. It means we can create multiple Fortimanager administrator. Clear my point? Why we are creating multiple ADOM? The purpose is what? To divide administration of device and control restrict access. It means ADOM admin A is only responsible. He is only responsible for ADOM 1 and ADOM 2. Clear my point? Tariq, Zamil, Parag.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Sir,
yeah.
under a
Yes.
single ADOM,
Mhm.
how many firewall or FortiGate devices is?
There is no limitation. There is no limitation. Okay. You
Okay.
can add multiple devices. I will show you. There is no limitation.
Okay.
You can add multiple devices. For single administrator, you can assign multiple ADOM, or you can
Okay.
assign a specific single ADOM. No problem.
Okay.
Okay, so what we have ADOM feature. First is what? Centralized management. Second we have is called ADOM concept. Third concept is called configuration, revision, control, and tracking. So you know, in Fortimanager scenario, whenever you configure anything, whenever you change anything in Fortimanager, so we have a revision concept. We have a revision number concept. So whenever you change anything, configure anything, revision number will change. What is exactly revision number? I will show you in lab, but right now I'm giving you idea. Whenever you change anything in Fortimanager, the revision number will change. And why we are using revision number? To control and track it. I will tell you in detail, but in configuration. Now, your next feature in Fortimanager, your Fortimanager can act as a local FortiGuard service.
FortiGuard service. Okay.
It means, for example, if these firewall devices, if they want to download signatures, so they can download signatures from Fortimanager, because your Fortimanager can act as a local FortiGuard services. For firmware management, yes, you can use this centralized device. I told you, if you want to upgrade operating system or if you want to upgrade firmware, yes, you can. We have a concept of scripting, and we have a lab for scripting. We have a proper lab, and I can show you. We have a small script. We have a small script to run onto this Fortimanager. I will show you the configuration, but I'm giving you an idea. You can create a script here, and these scripts you can run. You can run from this centralized device. Now, into this Fortimanager, we have pane managers. We have these options. Let me show you these options here. So these options are available when you are working with Fortimanager graphical page. What we have: device manager, policy and object, AP manager, VPN manager. Remember Tariq, AP manager and VPN manager. You told that
Yes.
we can manage AP devices. We can configure VPN option on a centralized location. So these are the options, guys. The AP manager, VPN manager, Fabric View, for FortiGuard services, Forti Switch Manager, Forti View, and system setting option. So these options are available. These options are available in Fortimanager, and these options are for Fortianalyzer. Fortianalyzer. In case if you are working with Fortianalyzer, yes, you can get these options. Now, so we can use these options in configuration. These are the pane. So we can discuss, no problem. But we have multiple tab option, multiple pane managers option, like VPN, Forti app, Forti switch, Fabric View, or you can say a security fabric option. For login and monitoring, we can use this centralized device for login and monitoring, because your Fortimanager can act as a Fortianalyzer also. By default, this service is disabled, but in case if you want to enable, if you want to use your Fortimanager to act as a Fortianalyzer, yes, you can. You have to enable a small service. You can enable, you can restart your device, done. Now your Fortimanager can act as a Fortianalyzer. So for login and reporting, yes, we can use this centralized device. Now, let me show you this option. Wait, let me show you first factory default setting. Let me show you first this factory default setting. So for example, if I have a Fortimanager, device, and if I have a high-end appliance, for example, high-end appliance. So on high-end appliance, we have a dedicated management port. We have dedicated management port. It's called MGMT port. What we can do, we can connect our management PC. We can connect our management PC with this management port. And yes, we have data interfaces, no problem, to connect our FortiGate devices or other product. We have data interfaces, but management port we are using for management. So on high-end devices, you will get a dedicated management port, but some on other series, in case if you don't have any dedicated management port on your Fortimanager, so no problem, you can use your port number like FortiGate firewall box. We can use port number 1 as a management. By default, we have IP address onto the management port. If you don't have, so no problem, you can configure. I can show you. So you can configure IP address on port number 1, and now you can connect your management PC with port number 1. By default, these services are enabled, like ping, HTTP, HTTPS, and SSH. These services are enabled. Default username is admin and password is nothing. Let me show you. Wait. Let me show you first. So we are doing all the labs on GNS3. Wait guys, 2 minutes. So I'm using one Fortimanager device. Right now, I am creating a small setup, only one Fortimanager and one management PC. So port number one into this topology, port number one I'm using as a management port. You can take a console, you can right click and take a console. This will take time, so please wait. Okay, wait, I'm trying to increase my RAM and CPU. Trying to increase, I'm using 4096. So guys, for lab setup, please use 4096 RAM, 4 GB RAM and 2 virtual CPU. Right click and start console. So we have a small topology, one Fortimanager device and one cloud. Cloud is what? Cloud is my laptop. So you can verify this Fortimanager will take time. So you can verify on my laptop. I'm using same series of IP. 192.168.255. Same series of IP address I will configure onto this Fortimanager port number. This is port number. Any question? Muzammil, Tia, Tariq, Parag?
No.
Okay. So I'm using a 40 OS version. It's called 6.2.7 into this topology, in our lab configuration.
So what about the version of the FortiGate that will be connected with this Fortimanager? It should be greater or similar?
I will tell you the comparison if you go on to day 2. So in day 2, I will show you
Okay.
compatibility option. This option I will show you. I think we're talking about this option, right?
Yes.
These are the ADOM version and we have FortiOS version. So supported ADOM version we can discuss, but in day 2.
Okay.
So this is login page. Parag, Tia, can you hear me? This is login page. So username is admin and password is nothing. You can press enter. You can set password, guys, 123 123. Now we are in Fortimanager. So like FortiGate firewall box, you can use all the commands. See config command, same command here. Config, git, show, diagnose, execute. So for example, if I want to verify show system interface. So I told you by default on port number 1, we have this IP address 192.168.1.99, and these services are enabled by default. But I want to change because I want to use IP address. I want to configure IP address. I'm using this series of IP. So same series of IP address I'm trying to configure on port number 1. Same command syntax we have: config system interface, edit port number 1, set IP 192.168.255.196/24. Set allows, so you can allow some services like HTTP, HTTPS, ping, and SSH. To save your configuration, we have end command. Yeah. So you can verify your connectivity from this PC, or you can say from this management PC, management machine. You can verify your connectivity. So 192.168.255.190. I'm using 196. Okay, wait. I'm trying to change. I'm using 195. Wait. So let's verify our connectivity. 192.168.255.195. So I'm getting reply. If I'm getting reply from management PC, so I can open any browser and I can type 192.168.255.195. Enter. So this is a graphical page. You can click on advanced, you can click on accept. And now this is login page. So username is admin. Username is admin and password we are using 123. So you can see, guys, these options are available. By default, only Fortimanager service is enabled. So we are getting these options. I told you you can use your Fortimanager as a Fortianalyzer also. Only you have to enable services. I will show you, but these options are available. So I'm going into the system setting first. If you click on system setting, you can get these options. You can get these options. Let's start our discussion. See, here we have dashboard. Here we have a dashboard. So this is called what? Dashboard information. Same like FortiGate Firewall box, we have dashboard here. Dashboard we are using for system information, license information, or system resource information. Now you can go with the all ADOM tab, network tab, for high availability configuration. To create multiple administrator, yes, you have an option. You can create multiple administrator. You can create profile. If you want to attach remote authentication server with your Fortimanager like Radius, TACAX, LDAP, yes, you can do. You can go for the admin setting, local certificates. You can generate local certificates here. Event logs you can verify. Task monitor. What is task monitor? I will tell you everything. But events you can verify, task you can verify. Some advanced options are available. These options are advanced options like SNMP, mail server, syslog configuration, some advanced setting. Let's start our discussion with the dashboard first. So this is your dashboard. This is what? Your dashboard. So in dashboard, you can verify this first information is called system information. So we have host name onto this Fortimanager is called FMG, VM64 KVM, serial number we are using, platform, it's a VM device, so VM64 KVM. HS status is standalone, so this Fortimanager is not participating in any failover concept. So high availability status is standalone. System time you can verify, firmware version. So we are working with 6.0 2.7. This is build version. If you want to go for the backup and restore, so here is option. You can click here. You can take a backup. For restore, you can click here. I will show you how to take backup, how to go with the restore option. But these options are available here. You can go with the backup and restore. Now current administrator, so two in total. One administrator is managing this Fortimanager device through console, and one administrator is managing through graphical views. So current administrator, two in total. Uptime information. See guys, this is called ADOM concept, administrative domain. By default, it is disabled. Forti analyzer feature, yes, by default, it's disabled. It's disabled. If you want to enable Forti analyzer service, for example, you can just enable. If you enable, now we are getting a message. Are you sure that you want to enable Forti analyzer feature? If you want to enable, you can, but the device will restart. So no problem, you can click on OK. So now this device will restart. Once it will restart, so we can log in again into the Fortimanager and we can verify this time Forti analyzer feature is enabled. So please wait. How we can verify Forti analyzer feature is enabled? Because remember our slide discussion, I told you. If Fortimanager feature is enabled, so you can get these information. But if Forti analyzer feature is enabled, so you can get SOC information, log view, reports, and incident event. These are the commons. Device manager is a common. Fabric view is a common. System setting is a common. But if Forti analyzer feature is enabled, so you can get these options: SOC, Forti SOC, log view, incident and events, and report. Let me show you this option. Wait, this will take time. Parag, any question there? Clear now? Muzammil, Tariq?
Yes, still not.
Okay, yes.
Okay, so username is admin and password 123 we are using. Now let's try to log in again. 192.168.255.190. Username is admin and password we are using 123. Now, see guys, if Fortimanager service is enabled, feature is enabled, so I told you these options. You will get these options. But now Fortimanager service is enabled, Fortimanager feature is enabled, so you can get Forti SOC, Okay, incident and event, report, log. Now, so let's click on system setting again. System setting again. And now, see, OT analyzer feature is on. Okay, by default, administrative domain feature is disabled. If I'm trying to enable, for example, then are you sure that you want to enable? Once you click on OK, it will automatically log out, and you need to log in again. So now ADOM feature, ADOM option is enabled now. How you can verify ADOM is enabled? Because this time, if I'm trying to log in into Fortimanager device, so this time I'm getting this option. This time I'm getting this option is called what? Select an ADOM. So once you enable ADOM feature, by default you will get a ADOM is called root ADOM. So we have a default ADOM in Fortimanager is called root ADOM. So now you can click on root ADOM. You can click on system setting, and this time you can get this information. We are working with root ADOM. You can create multiple ADOMs, no problem. I will show you. But yes, we have right now we have root ADOM. Now you can verify some other information, system resources, your CPU utilization, your memory utilization, your disk uses, license information you can verify. So license is valid or not, and VDOM information,